I turned this sleeping bag into a quilt. And you might wonder why, but the reason is it's about 13 years old. I've washed it and restored the loft in it a couple times. But I think it's time to shorten it a little bit. It's for 6 foot, it's a marmot, 30 degree, and I love it. But I'm going to open it up, and I have made this quilt. And you can see comparatively, it's bigger and wider. The quilt, the sleeping bag. So I think by removing some of the feathers from the excessive areas and stuffing it in the sides, and so opening it up into a quilt, I will have some more life out of this bag. So we'll start out by measuring it, marking it with chalk, opening up this foot bag, and I can use it as a blanket when I'm working on location, or even in the back country. And it weighs about, I believe it's 24 ounces. We won't be removing too many ounces, but because we'll keep all the feathers. We'll remove the zipper, open it up into a quilt. So we drew a chalk line and we stitched along it, so that we'll keep all the feathers on that side. We'll cut just above it, so we'll be able to fold it over. And this whole hood area, we're going to remove the feathers from it, stuff it in the side of the bag. So on the part that we've removed, we're going to cut through all the baffles, and we're going to pull all this loose down out of there. And it's very fine, so you might want to do this outside if there's no wind. But this down is expensive, and it's a great insulator. So once it's removed and stuffed back in the quilt that we are making, it will be very important to keep as much as possible of this down. So we are in that process. We removed all the excess from this seam, and we're going to fold this over so we have a nice smooth top seam on this quilt. Now I'm just double rolling this seam and rolling it over once and then twice and stitching. And that's going to be the easiest way to finish this top and provide a professional look. I'm kind of snipping this and turning this as I go on this machine. And one hint, if your bag is dirty, you're going to have a much easier time, because this down that's clean, and there are parts that are clean and parts that are dirty. The clean stuff, the only way to keep it under control is to get it damp. I mean, my only hope is I get this place cleaned up before my daughter gets home from her vacation. So after I'm done rolling this seam and finishing it, I'm going to clean up this house, and this bag will be washed. We'll put a few ties on this to hold it down underneath the pad. But this down that is clean, which at the footbed it tends to be clean, and then up by the hood it was had more oils, natural oils in it, so I could just grab it out of there. But the clean stuff wants to become airborne, and it's all over the place. So we're going to be working on this quilt a little bit longer. So the bottom line on this quilt remake is we've got this straw cord at the bottom, which I threaded through, but we do have some problem with some of the feathers in the straw cord wanting to get attached to the elastic. This straw cord is to help cinch up the bottom, the footbed, around the sleeping pad. Now the thing is about 5 feet long, 38 at the bottom, 60 at the top. It's fluffier, but it can be washed. It should stuff easier, but we're down to a very minimal type blanket. Now I would suggest, if you're going to do this, have a way to control the clean feathers. I found if I got them a little damp, I could control them. Be ready to, cut and stitch little small sections at a time so it doesn't get out of control. I did add the elastic loop so that I can run a cord through there to help hold the